We're here with Ryan McGowan, one of the 2015 inductees. Anyone who follows soccer in this county knows what a great player Ryan was in the 90s for Coach Andrew Lowry on those special teams. Ryan, congratulations. Your thoughts on this honor?
It's a great honor for me to be recognized for soccer. Feels like a long time ago, but to be recognized in Sussex County for all the hard work that I put in and my teammates put in, it's a great honor for me.
What are some of the memories you have of playing soccer at Sparta? You had some great teams. Arguably, you and Dave Boudelier, two of the best players on those teams for Coach Lowry. You guys did some special things.
Well, yeah, you mentioned Dave Boudelier. He was a big influence on my career. He's someone who kind of paved the way for me he was a youth national team player. So, to have someone like that who was already there, really made it a great environment for me. We had a lot of good players there, and it was very competitive. So, and because we had so many good players there, it really gave us an opportunity to win a few SCIL titles there.
Then you went on and played collegiately at Seton Hall, and then you get the call, Chicago fired?
That was very unexpected. And to be honest with you, I didn't even know that my name was up for the draft, but it was to have it pop up for Chicago Fire, a team with that had a lot of success in the MLS, had a bunch of titles already. To play with some guys who were in the World Cup and competing at the highest level was a great experience for me.
We're here with Kathy Stone, 2015 class here at the Sussex County Hall of Fame. And Kathy, congratulations. Kathy had a great career at Vernon Township. She put Vernon Township in cross country and track on the map, went on to a great career at Arkansas, and even now having a great career on the master's level, running and doing a lot of fitness and being inspirational to a lot of people. Kathy, first off, congratulations. Your thoughts on this honor?
Oh, this is huge. Back when I started running for Vernon, I was the little girl from Verona, and I kept saying, no, I'm from Vernon. So I think I had a lot to do with putting Vernon somewhere out there. And Sussex County has just been my home, so it's very nice to be honored with this. I feel like this is my roots. This is where I started. It's been a wonderful journey, but it started here.
It started here, and I can remember you and Steve Gruby. He was the top boy runner from Vernon.
My dear friend.
He does a great job. He's out in the Northwest now. Then you go on to Arkansas. You talk about the little girl from Verona, but Vernon. You go down south to Arkansas and continue your career. Talk about that.
Exceptional career. It was the best choice I've made. It was bigger than life, but I wanted to do it. My parents let me go, and Arkansas was just like a second home to me. It was smaller and very homegrown, and I just did really well. It was a perfect fit for me. I loved it.
And talk about now, you're still active running on the Masters circuit. Fitness, healthy living is your lifestyle. Just talk about that.
Okay, I actually did more after school and after college than I did in both of them. So I set 2 world records after that in New York City, and then went to the Olympic trials. But overall, I just love running, so I keep doing it. I keep trying to motivate women and tell them that everybody can do this sport. It's the easiest one around, and I just think it's a very healthy sport.
We're here with Tom Trudgeon, Senior, 2015 class here in the Sussex County Sports Hall of Fame. And Tom, you played played your ball at Franklin back in the day, was a good baseball player, but you came back to the county. You got a Pack-On High School on its feet as the athletic director. Did some great things there. Then came back to coaching in the 90s and early 2000s and led Newton to 3 straight section titles, never been done. Your thoughts on this honor tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm overwhelmed, to be very honest with you. I really am appreciative of all the things that people have said and inducted me into this. I thought about it many times, of course, and I'm so happy just to have an opportunity to see all my friends, see you, and maybe express some of the things that I like to think.
Now, Tom, as we said, you played in the county. You also had a big role in getting the Sussex County Interscholastic League going. Art Disk and Art Smith, 2 members of the Hall. Just talk about those early days.
Well, the early days were a little tough because, number one, I went to Hopakon in 59 or 59. I got the job done at Hopakon. And then the league, we didn't have a league. And, of course, I met with Art Disk many times, and they were talking about a league called the Pioneer League. And we looked at that, and it never came about. And we played independent mostly. We traveled, And I had some real good athletes that I wanted to get into a league to say, we can get in here and do some things. But it came about, and we were so happy. And then, of course, when we went into the Skyline, was that the Skyline? I think so. And then from then on, we didn't have a football field. We hired the coaches. Dick Sully became a coach down here. Rich Finken was a basketball coach, very good basketball. And then things started to take off, and it started to settle down, and we became pretty prominent, to be honest with you.
Then you jump forward probably about a good 20 years, about 10, 15 years, and you take over the Newton girls basketball team, 3 straight titles. Your thoughts on that?
Well, when I left Opakon, I resigned in 1987, and of course the director in town asked me if I'd start to get the rec program in shape. So I went down here and took that job, and then I became the coach in 2000, and I had some good players there too. Liz Cisco is going to be here tonight. That's right. And then we started to develop a program, and we had some good players. I had some great kids, and we had 2 sectional titles. We won 3 sectionals in a row.
2 state championship appearances,
right? We went to 2 state championships, and I couldn't get that silver ring.
We're here with Ed Levins, the former great high school softball coach at Jefferson 2015 class here in the Sussex County Sports Hall of Fame. This is a gentleman I've known for a very long time and a well-deserving honor. 2 state titles, 12 section titles, close to 20 league titles, and all did it with a smile on his face. Ed, your thoughts on being inducted tonight?
I'm just so honored. I mean, first of all, I'd like to really thank the SCIL. You know, I grew up in Hackettstown, Warren County, coached in Morris County, and all of a sudden being inducted into the Sussex County Hall of Fame. And when they opened it up because of a relationship with the SCIL, it was the greatest thing ever. And I'm honored because those names in there are fantastic. You know, they're coaching legends. The student athletes are unbelievable. And I'm so happy that this part of the state got the recognition that these kids deserved.
And just talk about, you've seen the gamut of the rise of female athletics. When you took over in 1980 to when you retired, what's the biggest thing that changed?
First of all, it wasn't cool to coach girls' sports in 1980. I think there was a bias and field conditions, equipment, things like that. As long as you participated, everybody was happy. But throw in the wrench and start to win, now people take notice. And the development with the little leagues and the travel teams and the individual coaching has increased tremendously, plus the equipment. So now you have these great athletes. Any team here in the SCIL, I shouldn't say that, I don't even know what conference it is now.
The NJAC now, eh?
Oh, the NJAC, or whatever that means. They can compete with anybody in the state. It's fabulous.
And just your reflections on that great run in the 90s when you had Kristen DePasquale. She won 101 games. Then after she had graduated a couple of years later, back-to-back state titles with Dawn Gilchrist and Carolyn McRae and Brittany Gerritsen in that group.
Oh, my God. When you think about Kristen DePasquale as a freshman, started every game for 4 years. She won 101. And I remember that 101 was at, and you were there, at Jefferson with that crowd that we had, broke the state record. But also can't forget the 4 other freshmen that started and graduated with 101 wins. Going to the state final and finally having Gilchrist take the biggest weight off my back in the world by hitting that walk-off home run. Oh, I'll talk about that later. And of course, you know and I know Hamilton, where that guy says, if we only get 1, you're done. And we were able to beat him. I felt so happy. And of course, following year, winning the Group 2 against Sterling, the first team that ever beat me in a state final, with McRae just picked brilliantly. Back-to-back state titles. I'm going, wow.
We're here with Liz Cisco from Newton High School, 2015 class for the Sussex County Sports Hall of Fame. And folks, if you were around Sussex County sports in the early 2000s, you know this young lady. All-State in field hockey, basketball, softball. Liz, congratulations, a great honor. Your thoughts?
Oh God, it's all really overwhelming. I haven't been in this spotlight in 12 years. It's been a long time. I mean, it used to be familiar to me in high school, but now it's all like I could hit a three-pointer in front of 500 people at a state final, but this is all not my territory.
Well, it's going to be a great night. I want to get your take because since you've graduated, it seems like everyone specializes. And you were tremendous in field hockey, basketball, and softball. Just talk about how that's kind of a dying breed.
Yeah, it's crazy to me. These athletes seem to only be able to focus on one thing nowadays, which is strange to me because I had no problem focusing on three. I mean, the kids are being brought up differently. My dad had a bat in my hand, a basketball in my hand, and a field hockey stick in my hand from the time I could walk. So it all just was like natural to me. But yeah, it's a shame to me that these girls are just restricting themselves to just one love. I had three loves, and I can't even tell you the amount of memories I have from those times.
Well, one of those memories is a big basket down at Secaucus High School against Harrison. They give Newton its first of 3 straight section titles. Your memories of that, and also Coach Strudgeon going in tonight as well. That's a pretty cool connection.
It's so great to see him. He looks exactly the same. He hasn't aged, and it's a great feeling. I'm so glad that they're honoring him for everything that he's done, and it just so happens that I'm here too, which is great. Me and him had a great connection. We went through a lot together in the States there, and we did a lot of things that the Newton basketball program hadn't done in a very, very long time. So, the sectional title game is the first thing that always sticks out in my mind. Even over my 1,000-point night, the next year I hit a three-pointer to send the game into overtime in the sectional title. But that moment, the girls who were on that court with me, Alexis Johnson, Caitlin Davey, Shakia Jackson, I mean, they were amazing. It was the group that was around me that made that moment so special. They were girls that I grew up with from the time I was in 2nd grade, so it was such a blessing to go through it together.
We're here with Scott Smith and Melanie LaTrenta, the daughter and son of the late Art Smith, who's going in tonight for his accomplishments as the superintendent of High Point High School. He was also a tremendous athlete, folks, at Westwood High School, and he's also in the Hall of Fame for Montclair State University. So he was a man that was well-versed in education, being the superintendent, and what the value of athletics was, and he played a huge role in getting the Sussex County Interscholastic League on its feet. Thanks for joining us. Just your thoughts and memories of what your dad did at High Point.
Well, I mean, he would have been absolutely pleased and just honored to be here. But it would have been a great crowning achievement for him. He was, as you know, in 2007, he was nominated to the athletic field was renamed in his honor at High Point, which is a great honor for him. So this would have really been a nice tribute to him in his legacy and really supporting Sussex County student athletes throughout his career.
And not only being sons and daughters, you went to High Point. You know what everyone felt about him. Scott Longcourt, who's a member of the Hall of Fame, speaks highly of him. What did sports mean to him?
Well, I mean, like I say, he was a jock from day one. He was from his Westwood High School. He grew up in Bergen County. A great football player there. He went on to Montclair State University. He was a standout athlete there. Was ultimately elected to the Hall of Fame, as you know, back in 1979. And he was even had an opportunity to try out for the then Chicago Cardinals NFL team. So sports has really been a critical component of his life. And he was also a strong believer that sports really built upon a student's academic experience. Regardless of their participation, regardless of the success they had, he felt it was great for their self-worth, their discipline, and ultimately their time management. So he was a real proponent of sports throughout his life.
We're here with Michelle Fisher, 2015 Sussex County Sports Hall of Fame nominee. Michelle being inducted for her great exploits at Jefferson High School back in the early 80s. Michelle, congratulations. Thanks for joining us. Your thoughts on being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, this is quite an honor. The other members of the Hall of Fame are very accomplished athletes and successful people, so I'm really honored.
Let's talk about Jefferson sports. Jefferson High School has always had good athletics. What makes Jefferson such a good sports town?
The people, they care. We have committed parents and coaches, and it's a nice community of athletes that support each other. It's really terrific.
One of the other inductees tonight is Liz Cisco. She played at Newton. I'm going to ask you the same question. She excelled at 3 sports. You excelled at 3 sports. It's a dying thing now with the younger kids. Why do you think that's happening, and do you feel playing the 3 sports helped you later on?
I enjoy transitioning season to season. I tended to do that throughout my career. I guess I get bored, and it's a good way to cross-train. So I am an advocate for cross-training and for multiple sports. What the kids are doing this time, specializing in sports, is different. My kids tend to like it. They only like 1 sport or 2 sports, so it's just a preference.
And another inductee tonight is someone that you've known for a long time, Ed Levin, and he always says you were the first stud athlete he ever had as a coach. Talk about playing for Coach Levins.
Coach Levins made the game a lot of fun. He liked to have fun. He's a master at allowing people to contribute with their talents and putting together a winning team season after season. It's quite an honor to be inducted at the same time Coach Levins is.
And your academic exploits didn't end the day you left Jefferson High School. You went on, had an outstanding college career. You're in the Hall of Fame of your college. Just talk about your days playing collegiately.
Playing collegiately was a lot of fun. My coach, Mary Flagg, was an exceptional coach, and I think her philosophy was we'd never get beat because we were in worse shape than the other team. So we ran a lot, but we also had a lot of fun. It was a good experience to be part of a collegiate team, and I'm proud of my accomplishments there too.
We're here with David Zabriskie Sr. He's representing his son, who couldn't make tonight. Outstanding wrestler from High Point, national champ on the collegiate level. David, fortunately your son can't make it because he's wrestling. What a surprise. Your thoughts on him being inducted? What a wonderful career he's had and having, because he's still wrestling as we speak.
Yes, I mean, it's been tremendous. I try to watch him, Olympics. Hopefully I can go to Brazil next year. Yeah, it's a huge vacation. I'm ready to fly. I have a lot of friends that want to go. He's a tremendous son.
You know, David's story is an amazing one. He was an average wrestler freshman, sophomore year, but he became determined, and by the time he was a junior, he turned some heads. Then he wins a state title his senior year and gets a scholarship to one of the most prestigious wrestling programs in the nation. You were on the front row watching this development. What did you see?
Coach Gardner. He was like a second father to him. Just told him what to do. I wrestled myself, but nothing like that. So we trained. If anything, Dave hurt me. So it was all Coach Gardner, helping him every way he could. I'm sure Coach Gardner struggled to keep up with Dave his senior year. He helped him get into Iowa State. He knew people. Dave was rough because he only was wrestling since 8th grade, and they knew it. After the first year, Dave was getting a scholarship, so it worked out fabulous.
And then not only is he a great wrestler on the high school level, a lot of kids might plateau there. He's taken it to a new level, national collegiate champ, and now fighting for a team a spot on the national team. Your thoughts?
Tremendous. I've been watching him. I can't travel to Russia. When he goes to Russia, Cuba, it's been beautiful. I would go down tomorrow, but David has 2 brothers, 9 and 7 years old, so I have to watch them. I'm not sure if they're going to be wrestling, but he's been doing tremendous. So let's see how he does tomorrow in the tournament.
We're here with Matt Valenti, 2015 Sussex County Sports Hall of Fame class. Anyone who follows wrestling knows this man. State champ at Kittatinny, national collegiate champ on the wrestling level. He's now coaching on the collegiate level. Matt, congratulations. Your thoughts on this honor?
Thank you very much. It's incredibly humbling. I'm so proud to be included in this group. It's an incredible group of athletes, student athletes that have been inducted in the Hall of Fame, who are being inducted in the Hall of Fame, and I'm just incredibly honored to be included in that.
Just talk about your time at Kittatinny, a magical time, doing some great things, 2 state titles, and you were part of the renaissance of Kittatinny wrestling. Kind of started with Steve Darling, and then you and your brothers really picked up the mantle as well.
Wrestling at Kittatinny was an incredible experience. I consider myself very fortunate to be on a number of great Kittatinny teams and to be a part of what became a wrestling dynasty. It was a great group of wrestlers that came through there. There's still great wrestlers coming through there. Steve Dowling, Brian Unkert, that whole group coming through, that youth program coming up to Kittatinny really set the tone for all of us youngsters coming up through, and it just was a great experience, and we all loved wrestling for the school.
And it didn't end there at Kittatinny. You went on collegiately, winning national titles, and now you're coaching. Your thoughts on what you've done afterwards?
Wrestling has always been a passion of mine. I very much loved it. When I had the opportunity to wrestle in college, obviously jumped right on that. Had an amazing experience at the University of Pennsylvania. Was very fortunate to have a good career there, wrestle on some incredible teams. Some of my best friends became my teammates. My teammates became my best friends there, and just an amazing, awesome experience. I'm very fortunate to wrestle post-college as well, to do some international traveling, wrestle on the U.S. Olympic circuit, international level. And then to be able to dive into coaching and teach the sport that I love so much. I had a great experience while I was coaching, and I really enjoyed it.
What's it say about this little area, little postage stamp of the area, Sussex County, producing wrestlers like yourself, the classmate tonight, Dave Zabriskie, guys like Zach Ray, going back Mike Frick. What's it say about how much wrestling is part of the fabric of this community?
Yeah, I coached college wrestling for 8 years, and at the end of the day, I always came back to New Jersey wrestlers from Sussex County as some of the best and toughest in the state, and if not in the nation. I just think the Sussex County tradition of wrestling is something that's incredibly phenomenal. If you look at the names that are on the wall for the Hall of Fame here, that are the wrestlers alone, it's just an incredible group. And I think we have a deep tradition. I think it's something that we all take a lot of pride in, and continue to do so today. And it's great to see these young guys excelling at the high school level and continuing on as well.